Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Briana. As you read by the title, we are working on this laundry room next, and I'm so excited because the laundry room is the first thing you see when you come in my house if you're not coming through the other door. I want to add my personal touch to it, and I was thinking how to do that. Like, I was having a real hard time kind of trying to figure out what to do with the laundry room because, I mean, you know, it's an apartment, so it ain't like I can do too much, but you know, I can still add my nice little touch to it and make mine different from everyone else's. So for this project, we are doing a little woodworking, which is not something I'm necessarily new to, but in this light, it's definitely a new territory, and I'm excited. But I did draw up some plans. As you can see, I have a couple of different sketches of how I want to do this. I have all my measurements. Like, this is the whole breakdown, okay? But yes, the total for the wood so far is $42. Holy moly, wood is expensive. And luckily, I already have the tools that I need to do this project, so I don't have to add that cost onto. But yeah, so I have been to Home Depot so far, and they did cut the wood down. This was a 4x8 behind me, which would not have fit in my car at all. But I had it cut down to a 3x5, which is what I need, and it kind of fits perfectly, but not like a little bit not. Oh, and also I'm gonna have labels for my jars. Okay, you know, kitchen makeover, maybe. Be on the lookout. Subscribe for that as well. Editing Briana here. I just want to jump in and say a lot of things happened between that intro clip and this next clip. I ended up buying a CRICUT. I was gonna use the one that my mom had, but I ended up just buying my own. Well, I ended up just getting my own because I was like, what if I end up liking it and then I have to give it back? So I just bought my own. So you're gonna see me making the labels here. These are not the final draft, okay? Don't click off the video yet. They're gonna get so much better, but you just gotta work with me. I wanna show everything so that if you like this the way that they are in the first set of labels, you know, you can copy that. But if not, you know, stay tuned for the final labels because top tier, okay? Anyway, back to the video. This first set of labels were created using Cricut Design Space with the pen that came with the machine. So I used the draw feature for the words and cut for the shape of the labels. These were also printed on Cricut sticker paper. I got it from Walmart for like $5 for like 15 sheets, which was perfect for what I needed it for, but of course you can always find cheaper in other places. I didn't mention it earlier, but I am building a table for my laundry room. I went back and forth between doing a countertop and building a table, and I ultimately settled on a table because thankfully my mom reminded me that there are several pipes and lines that run throughout the walls of the laundry room, like the gas line. And I live in an apartment, which means I simply cannot afford to unnecessarily burst a gas line or anything of the sort. So I went with the table to avoid having to buy things like a stud finder and other different tools that would help to avoid that type of situation. So I ended up buying 6 2x4s and an MDF board that Home Depot kindly cut down for me. And I made the mistake of buying unfinished wood, which is why you see me trying to sand it down to keep the cost down. But I was honestly able to still achieve the same goal. Then I finally realized that it was going to take me, honestly, about a week to get every single plank as smooth as I would like them. So then I just decided to paint them, and I kind of hoped that it would just seal them so that I wouldn't have to worry about splinters anymore. So I tried spray painting them, and honestly, it made a mess, and it also took forever to dry. And I realized it was a horrible mess, so I went a different route. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, so that I can actually like put the pieces together, I'm gonna start creating more labels because I need a couple more labels, I think. But I have Design Studio pulled up here, which you cannot see. I don't know if it's gonna focus or not, but I have Design Studio pulled up here and I have my labels that I made yesterday. Okay, so it's looking like it might not be, because I don't want to redo all of these again because it's kind of unnecessary. So I wonder if I can copy it and create a new project and then paste it. Oh, perfect. I can. Cool. So I'll do that and create the rest of the labels. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and create the rest of these labels and then come back when that paint is dry, and then we'll be assembling the table. Labels, which are 4x4 for the square, 2.75 by 4.75 for the long rectangular, and 2.75 by 1.75 for the smaller rectangular. But the font that was used is Bodani FLF and Jonathan. Then I went over to Design Studio, placed them in there, and then I placed a rectangle behind it, flattened them, made sure I had on print and cut, made sure my printer was connected, and then I just made the labels. Once the paint was fully dry, I decided to use some of the wooden dowels that I had laying around from different furniture pieces that I built in the past. You know, the extra ones that come with all the screws and things. And I used those to line up the 2x4s to create the shape of the table, and they also add a bit more stability. Okay, so I'm going to take this little dowel, because that's the only way that I'm going to be able to do it. And I'm just going to put some wood glue on there. This wood glue is really good because it dries fairly fast. Not fully, but like it dries enough to at least like hold a little bit. And then I'm just gonna hammer that in. This is not a tutorial, by the way. It's just to give you an idea, because I'm just winging this. That's just to make sure it's in there. And then the wood glue is gonna dry around it. And then what I like to do is take my paint. Well, actually, let me drill both. Then I'm gonna take my thing and just kind of see how deep it actually is. See, yeah, that's not deep enough. So I'm gonna let that charge a little bit and then do it again. I'm gonna add my wood glue, obviously. And I do like to add it kind of like around the sides of it too. So I take my black paint. You can use any color. And so I'm installing dowels, and then oh, that was so much black paint. And then I just dab it on the ends of this. Oh, that just got in my mouth. Yuck. This is going wrong very fast. That's okay. We live to see another day. Okay, so then we take our piece of wood and I just line it up and press it in. So obviously it's not going to go all the way in, but I'll press it in enough. So then I get, okay. See those two black dots? That's where we're going to drill. Oh. We should be set to drop this on here. Okay, so it's not quite in there. So I think I need to drill in the bottom. Nope. This one, a little bit deeper. Okay, so it's pretty much in there. Yep. Beautiful. So now I'm gonna put some glue in this hole, these holes, and then a little bit on the tip of those two. And then a little bit around, you know, just for security, of course. And boom, it slid right in there. Oh, Be careful though. So I'm gonna work on the other side now. Okay, so I ended up flipping it around. So like that beam is on the bottom now for more support because these legs were super wobbly. And as you can see, that has already happened, which I think means that it's too tight. So I might unscrew it a little bit and then maybe put a little bit of wood glue in there to kind of hold it. But it is now off of the washer and dryer, so it's not so much pressure on there. It's standing on its own. Yeah. After a few days of adding weight to see if it would hold, I realized that the dowels and wood glue was not a long-term solution for this. So I went to Walmart to get some L-shaped brackets for the four corners of the legs to add a bit more stability, which is something I should have done from the jump. But this was a learning process for me, so just learn from my mistake. You're gonna see me frowning a lot in this next clip because this was the most difficult part of the entire process. It was nerve-wracking. Cheers to getting messy again. Ooh, girl, tweaking. I'm going for that. Real blizzard. Baby, just like anyone. Although I didn't include actual footage of me building the shelf, I just used 4 L-shaped brackets and I just put them on top of each other, but you'll get a better idea from the diagram on the screen, of course. So for the wallpaper, I have Canva Pro, so I just went through a bunch of different images of leaves and tropical plants and ultimately settled on the first one. So I just made a bunch of copies of that, ported it into Cricut Design Space, and just printed out a bunch of them. And this process took a very long time because I had to cover almost an entire wall, essentially. I did order some Cricut paper transfer vinyl from Amazon. So I got about 30 feet and it was definitely more than enough to cover the space that I needed it to cover. If you are interested in the specific shape that I have, you can always message me on Instagram and I will send that right over to you. If you are looking for the vinyl that I'm using specifically, I will also have that linked down below in the description. But if you are not looking for that, be sure to get removable vinyl in case you change your mind or you make mistakes. You do not want to be stuck with this being the reason you don't get your deposit back if you're in an apartment. So just be mindful. Make sure it is removable. Please, please, please. Now, if you can have someone help you with this, me doing this alone made this take so long because guess what? While I'm putting those on the wall, no one is peeling them or no one is cutting them. It's a long process. I think in total this process took me about 3 days and I was over it. So, if you want to save some time, either do bigger decals or have some help. Once I started putting these on the wall, I finally started to see a real transformation in the room. And it actually felt like something was happening. So I feel as though this project or this quick DIY, this wallpaper, changed the whole thing for me. Like, it actually felt like something was happening. The table was cool and all, but it was so much better with the wallpaper. If you want to see some stills, check out my Pinterest. And now for the final results.